Yo, it's your boy Jay the Blaze in the building. I ain't wasting no time today. Here's how Warzone should improve.
Bitch, I ate my rice and cabbage. Ass so fat, he wanna grab it.
Yeah, we need more original content, more so in the map department. Having at least 2 map options for each mode of Battle Royale and Resurgence would give the game more life and more reason to keep playing. Right now, the game loop on either mode is extremely boring and repetitive, considering we're playing on the maps that are 5+ years old at this point. Now, from the game dev perspective, in terms of space and server stability, having 2 maps for the big Battle Royale mode in rotation may not be possible or ideal. I don't really know how all that works per se. So if that is the case, there has to be big point of interest changes to Verdansk in ways we haven't seen before to keep it fresh. We've kind of seen that with the overlook being added to downtown and the stadium ceiling being opened, but I think that they should go even bigger with changes, especially since the timeline of Black Ops 7 is set in the future. Look at Fortnite, for example. Their island evolves throughout an entire chapter to the point where it's almost a new map by the end of it. Warzone has gotten way too stale since things have been basically reset to what Warzone was years ago, with Verdansk and Rebirth being the only maps in the game. But we're in a worse position now since those maps are old and the game barely works as is. And as much as I'd love to see Ashika Island and Vondel make a return at some point, it really would only serve as a reminiscent novelty that will wear off pretty quickly. We've seen that same thing happen with the return of Verdansk. I mean, it's pretty safe to say the honeymoon phase has worn off since then. For Resurgence, I think a new 70-player Resurgence map would be the perfect addition, honestly. Might be a hot take for some, but Vondel was a pretty fun map, especially because it was a great blend of Resurgence and Battle Royale. The map was the perfect size to house almost double the normal Resurgence lobby without it taking too long to travel around and find people, all that good stuff. With the right map architecture, a 70-player Resurgence map can be a really exciting experience that I'm sure a solid amount of people would appreciate. And please bring back map rotations. Like, anyone who only wants to play Rebirth for another year is delusional and afraid of any kind of change. It's healthy to have multiple maps as options to play in any game. It's not like we're looking to completely erase Rebirth Island, we just need fresh experiences.
But I'm the biggest bird.
Basically, the only Black Ops 6 weapons that have been decent all year are the ARs and SMGs. There has only been around maybe 4 weapons across these 6 other weapon categories that were ever worth talking about or trying throughout the year. Like, seriously, think about it. When's the last time you used an LMG by choice? They all suck, and the ones that you pick up from a chest all have a fucking sniper scope on it. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But anyway, it's super disappointing to go from a very versatile weapon family from MW3 last year, where every gun had their time to shine, especially with exciting aftermarket parts, to a stale family of weapons where only a third of the guns are somewhat memorable. And we're already 5 seasons deep, like everyone is already just waiting for the new game/integration. But while we're still on the topic of weapons, please make old weapons good again. Like, what the fuck? They literally made all the old weapons bad on purpose just to force people to use the new ones. While I can understand why that decision is made, it just seems slimy and unnecessary, considering everyone ends up wanting to use the new weapons anyway. Like, seriously, did you really have to make the Ram 7 go from this?
And then progression is bad.
All the way to this? The game devs literally went out of their way to make those guns worse in every way possible when all they had to do was copy and paste them in. Now, obviously, it's not exactly copying and pasting from a game dev's perspective, but you have all the blueprints for these existing weapons in the game, so why not just have them have the same attributes that make them that weapon? It's just ridiculous that they basically play entirely different than what they were last year. It just doesn't really make sense. If you're gonna refuse to show all those weapons some sort of love, you may as well just get rid of the Modern Warfare weapons. Plus, there's just a lot of weapons in the game. It can be very overwhelming for newer people. Like, I think there's over 200, maybe 230 or something like that. It's really a crazy number. Literally, fuck melees. Why are there 100 melee weapons when they all do the same shit? They suck and people only use them to run faster in certain situations. How is it that they're wasting their time adding new melees every damn season, but there's still barely any marksman rifles and LMGs? It's just a weird priority that I think we can all agree doesn't really deserve that kind of time in the grand scheme of things. But if you're a melee connoisseur, you're probably calling me a stupid fat It should not take multiple grenades to kill a downed person. You should not instantly gain full health off of a res. That is all. When Call of Duty brought back Verdansk, they made sure to remove a lot of modern features added throughout the years for the sake of nostalgia. I can understand the sentiment, but I think we can all agree that there's some things that we miss. Things like loadouts being half price during fire sales, being able to buy a primary weapon from the buy, etc, etc. Finding ways to bring some of these features back into the gameplay loop would only enhance the experience. For example, if they do bring back the ability to buy your weapon at the buy station, maybe you can buy a weapon once for the whole game, and that's it. That way, people can't spam it, and will still prioritize getting a loadout for the team. This also adds value to the feature since people would have to think of when to use it. Maybe they really appreciate having a comfortable start, and buy it shortly after landing in the beginning. Or maybe they save it for rough times when the team has to relocate and there's no solid loot around. That'll be up to the player, but at least the option is there. Even 5 seasons in, Black Ops 6 still feels really incomplete and unpolished. Rendering of operators and maps textures is still terrible compared to previous years. There's been so much stability issues this year. Every update breaks the game more somehow. There was also that whole weird desync and bullet registration issue at the beginning of the year that sparked a lot of skill-based damage beliefs. We could go on and on about the server and engine problems that the integration of Black Ops 6 brought this year, but hopefully Black Ops 7 really spent the time tidying these things up, otherwise it's just going to be fancier slop. Tokens and double XP weekends haven't actually delivered on giving us double. I'd say it's more of a multiplier of like 1.25 to 1.5 depending on the game mode you're playing. It just feels like a big placebo game they're running. In older games, you very clearly saw the XP double at the end of the game, or even in-game where a kill in TDM would be worth 200 instead of 100. Now things are just all over the place, really. It feels like something people could be able to sue over, honestly, especially since these tokens are included in bundles and season passes that people pay for. Whatever, honestly, I'm not even surprised at this point. Just fix it. We're supposed to be able to jump off walls as an addition to Omni movement. I can't really imagine how much that will affect the overall game of Warzone, but all I ask is for it to not be too weird or exploitable. We haven't seen any kind of gameplay of it in terms of Warzone specifically, or if that's even something that will be in Warzone. Maybe it's something that stays in the multiplayer experience? Who knows? Regardless, I'd want to wait until that happens and we get our hands on the beta to speak more on it. Yeah, cheaters were really bad this year, so yeah, it'd be cool if Ricochet actually, hunted them down, found their IP address, tied them up in the basement, tortured them with a 24/7 recording of their sick, sad lives to show them exactly what caused them to turn into the disgusting, worthless, pitiful, putrid peasants they are. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it gets better. OMW, on my way to you. Good at work. They really let COD mobile devs run wild with the store this year, or at least that's what it feels like. Like, come on, what the fuck is this? I mean, then again, I'm the same one who thinks that this is a top 5 operator, but that's because it is. I mean, look at his jaw movement. Look at the jaw movement, man. Look at that shit, man. But either way, just tone it down, please. And I swear to God, if I see another Snoop Dogg skin next year, I'm gonna fucking throw up. Yeah, most of the tracer packs are not worth the money this year. Like, I'd like to see what the fuck I'm shooting at, please and thank you. I feel like that's a reasonable ask, but you know, maybe I'm the fucking crazy one. Also, it's just really dumb that they spend so much time making fancy gun inspects. Like, it's kind of cool to look at once, I guess, but once you actually go into the game, you're never going to be inspecting your weapon. Instead, I think that they could work on special reload animations, animated reticles on guns that come with sights, you know, things that you actually do and see often. For example, there's this weird mastercraft for the HDR that has this little squid, or octopus, I guess, on it. Instead of this whole inspect, they could let the reload animation be the squid doing the reloading for you, like a hands-free type thing. obviously this animation would be exclusive to that blueprint, and you would see this like 10 times in the game. This definitely makes Mastercrafts more worth the money / points, since you'll see more of what you pay for in places that actually matter. How is a $1 billion company owned by a $1 trillion company not able to make targets move side to side in the firing range? There should definitely be a better range for us to practice our aim and test loadouts in. With Black Ops 7 going into the future with freaking robots, the range should be on brand and have settings you can adjust to have the dummies perform simple but important actions like moving side to side, running across your screen at different speeds, whether that's crouching, walking, sprinting, sliding. They could even have a hologram of an enemy show up in front of you, so it's more realistic of what you'll see in game instead of stationary targets. They could even have an option to have them shoot at you a little bit so you can train your aim while under fire. These are all ideas that, to me, are common sense and would only be a benefit to the overall experience of the game. It's definitely doable too, since they've worked so hard on bringing AI into the Warzone experience with Warzone Casual. Oh, and actually, speaking of, the success of casual modes in Warzone shows that it's here to stay. There's a lot of people of varying skill levels who enjoy playing in lobbies that are more chill with a mix of real players and AI opponents. I personally don't have a problem with the mode at all, but I really do hope that COD doesn't use this as a reason to bring AI into the normal Warzone experience. It defeats the purpose of the online multiplayer gaming experience and just wouldn't be fair to force everyone to play in lobbies with AI bots. It should remain a choice by leaving that as its own mode. But you could argue that the success of casuals is actually a good reason to remove the big bad 4-letter acronym. Casual success just shows how badly the COD community doesn't want skill-based matchmaking. We've been complaining for years how we do not want skill-based matchmaking or engagement-optimized matchmaking, or whatever you want to call it, in the game because it's manipulative and makes damn near every lobby feel really sweaty and extra competitive, even for people of varying skill levels. It basically becomes a ranked experience, even though it's supposed to be a regular core game mode. Once casual modes were introduced, people started migrating to them because it's not as sweaty, with most of the players in that lobby being AI bots. A part of why it's so successful is because they don't have to sweat as hard in every lobby. They can actually have a more chill experience with their friends, which sounds a lot like the experience on older CODs without that skill-based matchmaking. Without the SBMM, lobbies become way more diverse and matchmaking times become drastically faster. Casuals can stay, but it needs to be treated as the stepping stone mode it was initially meant to be by putting a cap of maybe 5 casual matches per day. This way people can still get to play the mode, but they can intentionally warm up with it being a place where you can practice, sharpen your skills, try out loadouts, etc., etc., resulting in a more comfortable transition for the real experience. Anyway, last but not least, what Warzone needs the most to succeed is
all of us.
Aw, wasn't that cute? I bet you over there blushing and shit. Look at you, man. Look at you. But I actually forgot where I was going with that. I mean, yeah, like and subscribe, I guess.